Didn't I tell y'all Phil was a whole liar? A whole liar. Wow. Hey, welcome to my channel. This is Spiritual Sense, Information for Your Soul. I am Sharice, and we're talking about the finale of Greenleaf Season 4. I like how this episode is named Gratitude, and it ended with gratitude. I thought that was really cute. I am now wondering if AJ really isn't an addict. Like maybe he's not the one using those drugs, because at the end of the episode, the weirdest thing happens. I was wondering if Grace was seeing things, right? Like, was that a vision or was that a real person? Because like her, I thought it was AJ and then it wasn't. And then I was like, is this a killer? But then he didn't. He just walked away. So weird. But is AJ protecting him? Is AJ gay? It's like, what are the things? Are the drugs like to help somebody heal from something and he just stole all of them to get one that he might need? Like, what the weird? That was so weird. Almost as weird as Judy has been the entire time she's on screen, okay? Were you thinking, like I was thinking, watching her and Phil, like, Judy still want that black? I mean, she was like so baby, so like bratty, right? Like she was so bratty. And then like with her dad, still with the whole daddy thing, I had a feeling from the time we saw the preview of Phil proposing, I was convinced that he was only doing it to get something from Charity. And I think we got confirmation that that's what he was doing. He was trying to secure her vote and still giving her like these platitudes to make it seem like whatever decision she makes is okay. But we know now, confirmed, Phil has been running game the whole time. He's been lying through his teeth the whole time. He don't love Charity. He don't care about her. He is willing to go back to Miss Weird Judy because her father wants Judy to be happy and knows that Judy still wants Phil. Phil is willing to marry a woman he does not want to be with, she's weird, in order to run the church. Wow, this is like, opportunist on like the 10th level. I was so disgusted. Because after they went from him telling Bob, what do I have to do? I'll do whatever I have to do, to him coming to the family and saying, hey, it's not gonna work with you, May, and Bob Whitmore, so sorry, not sorry. From the time he was watching that ring on Charity finger, we need to talk in private. We already know. I was convinced though that he was gonna take back the ring. I thought maybe she would even throw it at him, but I mean, she's still wearing a ring. What in the world? Oh, poor Charity. Listen, sometimes in our lives, it takes us multiple times of the same lesson, because what happened with Charity and Phil is the exact same thing that happened with her and her ex-husband. It's the same thing. She would not trust her gut. She was blinded by the validation of being married, of this man telling her that she was great when nobody is saying that she's great, and fell for men who were not living in their truth, who were not being their true selves. And listen, intuition, feminine intuition, it is strong. Charity has to be actively ignoring it to continue engaging in the behaviors that she's engaging in, because she had moments of pause, of doubt. But when you're lying to your mother, wow. When you are basically turning your whole back on a family, when then you have to go and ask the man that you supposedly love if he's playing games with you. If you have to ask a man if he's playing games with you, he's playing games with you. Because a real man is not going to have you doubting at all. And there were so many times when Phil's behavior was questionable. When it was, well, what does he get out of all of this? What are you getting out of all of this? When May gave that speech about, listen, I am you. You are Gigi. Gigi is AJ. Listen, I felt that. Like, I felt that. That's how I feel about, like, living on Earth. Like, we all have our individual souls, right? But we're all connected to God, to like spirit, this big oneness. What I do to you, I do to myself. Beyonce said that too in her Lemonade album. Oh, Beyonce. Listen, I felt that little speech May gave. I loved it. And I feel like Charity was getting some of it. Maybe she was just feeling the shame of her mother telling her, but it was the message that she needs to get. After this with Phil, I am hoping that this character learns her lesson. Maybe takes a break from men. Maybe looks inward at what is it inside of you that is so broken? Why do you feel like you need to fill this emptiness? The void that I think we all feel, this idea of not being good enough or worthy enough, only God can fill that completely. And if you try to think that a person is going to do it, job title is going to do it, drug is going to do it, it will not. It will not sustain you. It will not last. It may feel good for a time, just like Charity went and gave it up for this, oh my God. It'll feel good for a time, but it will not last. Only God, spirit, universe, all that being energy is what can sustain you on the inside. Listen, let me get this out of the way before I forget. I don't care about Sophia and this boy. I don't care about what Sophia's doing. Nothing in Sophia's life is interesting to me. Miss Goody Two Shoes, who's now the bad girl. Is she just the bad girl because she's with the bad boy? I guess. Did they have sex? Who knows? Who cares? I care more about the female friendships, her and Zora. And I guess the friend of Zora's wasn't in this episode. But listen, if you are placing your partner, especially if you're like in intro stages, I'm not talking about placing your wife or husband, someone you've been partnered with for years, over friends. It's not the same thing. There's different levels to this. Your partner who you've been with for years, who you're married to, may or not, is your family. And it should be God, your family, and then other people. If you have not partnered with this person, like in the case of Sophia, like in the case of Charity. Charity was not married to this man, and she was aggressively throwing her family under the bus. Similar to Sophia. Sophia is not like married to this boy. What is the importance of placing his needs, your needs, above the friendship unit? For a boy though, for a boy, they're cute together. Him not pressuring her for sex was adorable. Every man should like have control of his sex drive, all those things. But I don't care. I don't care about their little interaction. I care more about Zora and Sophia. How are they gonna work their things out? Sophia individually, I mean, she has things that she can do to learn and grow. And why is this so important for you to be in? Whatever. On to the next. So, Carissa. Oh my gosh. Oh my God, Carissa. Carissa has serious issues. We all have our issues. The way Carissa told Jacob that she has chlamydia started off okay. Start off with the I love you, I have something important to tell you. Although she should have gone to him before he came to her saying I have symptoms. But I think she started off okay. Jacob's response, listen, you can tell people your truth, you cannot control the way they respond to you. Jacob's response was his response, that was his truth, his experience. Jacob's experience was his experience. We cannot control that. She can only respond to his response. And the way she responded, I mean, I didn't expect Jacob to get that upset. I get him as a man, that's his wife, getting that upset. I agree with him that the relationship should probably end or at least take a break. I think if there's any betrayal in a relationship, people need some time apart. They need a break. So Carissa's response to get out, it's over, you need a lawyer, being that this is your mom's house. When you wrong and strong, like Carissa, you're wrong. Where is your humility? Take some silence, pause. Oh my gosh. But like the venom that came out of her mouth in response, the vindictiveness, the resentment, the contempt, when those things are present in a relationship, it is really time to let it go. Just like let it go. The fact that she called Fernando right after though. You know, I've been watching a lot of videos about, this is such a sidebar. I've been watching a lot of videos about like alpha men, beta men, and like one of the things they talk about, it's like so many different kind of men, incels, I think, whatever. One of the things they talk about is women like Carissa, who lie, are manipulative, very secretive, controlling, belittling, emasculating. And we know, if you're watching me, I hope you know, most women are not like that. That's not a representation of most women. And I think in this case, Carissa probably isn't those things. Those are like a part of her now at a time when she's like very stressed. But it's like scary to see her and all the traits that she's embodying right now because they're toxic. They're unhealthy. Most women are not like that. I think in this show, we get to see the range of different women and how, you know, feminine May is even in her relationship with Bishop. So Carissa then went to Fernando and gave him a nice good old slap at the end. Okay. I mean, he probably didn't even know he had it. I mean, you mad at him for giving it to you, but you cheated on your husband? Okay. I mean, it's part of her process. Let's let her get it out. It's okay. That's Carissa. I hope they do get a divorce. She does need to move out. She does. And like, we'll see what happens. Because they said they're coming back for our next season. So I'm curious. Not that much grace-ish in this episode. We get to see her and AJ figure it out. He said he's going to turn himself in. He's not going to tell her why. We know that the church is supposedly getting demolished, that they are moving it over to H&H, and that there's not going to be any, you know, Calvary anymore. Unfortunate. But if you see any of my videos, then you know how I feel about them and the church. This is just more fuel that God is sending you. I love that they also ended with the gratitude from Grace. May on her knees praying. Pray for that church, honey. God answers every prayer, okay? And sometimes the answer is no. Please be open to it. Oh man, please. If there's gonna be a whole nother season, right? They say they're coming back in 2020. I expect them to get the church back in that season. I mean, they're fighting so much, but I just wish that we would consider other ways of professing the love of Christ and the church and all that, other ways of using their talents. I think Jacob has some really out of the box ideas that would be great for the family to like get on board with. But they've all been so stuck on getting the church back. Ugh. So I expect that they will get the church back. I'm not mad that they don't have it. I just don't feel like the universe encourages this much fighting. Things would be challenging, yes. But when there's like secrecy, lies, blackmail, manipulation, like all these really dark things, is this really what God has for you? Is it really? That's the question I have for them. It's also the question I have for you because, you know, lessons and everything. And I think we can apply this to our own life. What is it that you're fighting in your life? What is it that's more than a challenge? That's like this uphill battle that maybe if you meditated, prayed about it, you'd get a sign that you should just release it. Let it go. Stop fighting. Stop shortening your life. Know what I mean? We'll see what season 5 has to offer us next year. Thank you for watching.
Oh, well.
Hi.
How was your day?
It was great.